Our next guest had an amazing conversation back at the NAACP's Gala commemorative event back in May 17th of 2004, talking the 50th anniversary of Brown versus Board of Education. Some very interesting comments from him there. We're going to start somewhere else. Our next guest is going to be live in Grand Forks Sunday night, 7 p.m. at the Chester Fritz Auditorium. You can get tickets at 800-745-3000. I'll be giving that out throughout the rest of the show to make sure you can go up and see our next guest, the most famous father on the planet today, Mr. Bill Cosby. First, Mr. Cosby, thanks for taking some time to visit with us today. I got to ask you this. You are a legendary entertainer. You're coming to Grand Forks, North Dakota. You could be anywhere in the world. What keeps you doing what you do?
Coming to Grand Forks would be the great moose burgers. These burgers. Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Hello? These burgers, the last time I was there, there's a place called Shorty's. And he's the chef. He was in the Navy. He had one arm longer than the other, and he was a cook in the Navy, which was good because whenever they had a lot of rolling and stuff like that on the seas, you know, the tilt would come his way, and with the left side longer, he could spatula and flip pancakes. And he wound up out there after his discharge, and he saw this moose. That's his story. He didn't shoot it. It just came over and lived with him for a number of years, and the story is they were both looking at each other for a long time, and neither one of them went to sleep. And the moose died. And it was thereby decreed that whoever died first, that person, would eat the other one. And so he had these moose burgers. Oh, my goodness. Delicious.
We'll make sure we have plenty of moose burgers at the show for you.
No, I want Shorty's moose burgers, but I just got word that Shorty has passed away, and that there's I don't know if it's true, but up there in the big Grand of North D, there's a restaurant underground with a halo over it, and the sign is Shorty Burgers. They're selling Shorty Burgers, and that the chef looks exactly like a moose. I'm looking forward to coming out there. Tell me about this college you're sitting on the campus of right now.
You are reading my mind. I'm sitting in the student union. I've got 4 students with me that are going to we're going to have a great conversation. As I'm sure you're well aware, you know, the costs of college are escalating at a very, very rapid rate. Loved your conversation.
Mr. Berg?
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Berg, are you a parent?
Yes, I've got a almost 2-year-old.
Oh, well, this is going to be a story, Mr. Berg, a subject which will be for the rest of your life. Cost of college going up, cost of college going up, cost of college going up. You're going to hear that. And those 4 students sitting around you, I don't know what it costs to go to this place of higher learning, but as a father who has paid for 4 graduations and 1 child in 4 different colleges, it's quite expensive, and because it's relative. Way back when our first child picked a college, the astronomical price was $40 grand. The other astronomical price was $35 per "please let me into your school," which our daughter wanted 7. And it's I don't know what it is now, but I'm telling you, people need to understand the following from the number one father in the United States: community college. Community college, if you have a wonderful community college near you, you can save yourself a ton of money. I say yourself because a lot of kids don't care about their parents' money. They think that that's some, well, mom and dad, they're supposed to give this. I'm entitled to break their backs. Community college, the first 2 years of community college offers the same thing, and it is accepted after your first 2 years, and you pump it and knock it out of the park and come in with a 3.6 or something like that because you're living at home. And then generally you will receive, if you hit 3 point something, you will receive notification that you are accepted into any of the state schools. And you'll be accepted, and it transfers also out of state. But if you go out of state, you lose that wonderful gift that the Congress and Senate have not yet looked at in making cuts.
Mr. Cosby, I want to ask you this, since we've got these 4 students here, we're actually being...
Who is this talking?
This is Chris.
Well, you sounded like you changed. Have I been talking that long that your voice changed?
I'm going through puberty, sir, I guess, or something. So we're being...
Maybe I scared you, didn't I?
Yeah, because I've got a 2-year-old. You're talking about going up. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to be $1 million by the time.
See, you and your wife with love, and look at those students listening to me. Love and understanding, and all parents, and that's what the kids hear. Go to college, go to college. Well, many of these kids, they just know that. Some of them hear something about follow your dream. You say, well, I don't have a dream. You say, okay, use the word goal. Do you know what you mean? Well, no, I just want to get out of the house, and I want to see if I can drink without, having to sober up when I come through a door. So it's important for you to understand that if you can, let your child taste a ton of things. And by the time he or she gets to college, if they can understand that their school, the prep school, the high school, prepares them for the higher learning, and the more they study, the better it is, so that they can pick out things and not be afraid. And instead of picking weird things that will get them no job, or they get smart and start to take disciplines where there's no end to the discipline because there's no job for it. Go ahead,
Mr. Cosby.
Sorry,
I want to ask you this because we're being beamed into some of the classrooms on campus as well. You've had such an illustrious career. If there was one piece of advice that you would give these college students, what would it be and why?
I just gave it to those guys. They come back. Get out. If these cuts, if their parents are straining and to put them through, and they may not be able to afford next year, that the community college has courses and they can graduate in 2 years and then pick up the junior and senior year after the parents have saved up some money, because I don't see anything wonderful happening The other piece of material, you're in college. Many questions happen to be, well, I had to take so-and-so. Why did I need that? Well, just look at it this way. You need it because you don't know what you're doing. and you should practice for real life. You should practice doing things that you feel are not necessary because you're going to want a job. And even if you get something and you work for yourself, you're going to find yourself having to know things that you thought you would never have to bother with or know. For instance, if you graduate from college and you're, let's say, you get married or you're not married and you have a kid. Well, there are a lot of things you should know in engineering that will save you a ton of money. So if you say, well, why do I need math? Why do I need this? You need it for parenting so you can help your children with their homework. Next question.
One or two things people don't know about you and should.
Oh boy. See, that's a tricky question.
Can I share one thing I learned about you that I thought was great, and maybe this will spark some ideas for you, is that you named all your kids with the first letter E for excellence, right?
No, I misspelled idiot. But, okay, what should they know about me? What they don't know, I was given a second chance in my life. I was not arrested. I was not incarcerated. But in my life, I wasted about 13 years. Maybe not really. I was in charge of myself. I wasn't homeless or anything. I just didn't listen to wise people because I didn't know they were wise. I thought they were just picking on me. And they were talking about study, and you should do. Well, here's what happened. I found it. I had to join the Navy. That's where I got my GED. And then I found out that in this United States of America, I could still go to college. And I just looked up at the sky, and I'm not even a religious person. I just said, thank God. And I took the SAT exam to enter Temple University. I was offered a track scholarship. We were Division 12. So, yeah. So I took the SAT exam. They say that a dying person sees their whole life pass before. Have you heard that saying?
Absolutely.
Well, that's what happened to me because all that stuff that I didn't pay attention to in school was on that exam. And I kept looking at the pages and looking at pictures and things. And this is the class I sat in, and I was very quiet, but I never paid attention. And I kept saying to the teacher, why do I have to know this? And the teacher kept grunting and telling me to get out. And I wasn't a bad kid. I wasn't noisy. I just had a quiet way of not listening. So I want all of these kids to know that what they don't know about me. I scored in the SAT exam 500.
No way.
What did I just say? 500. Not 500 for the verbal and 500. There was no and. It's 500. I sat there and turned pages and watched my whole life pass in front of me, and I didn't even know. The only thing I knew, I'm dying. And, of course, the word is, when you take the exam, don't mark down an answer if you don't know it. Well, if you know nothing, I was armed with the following information from some people who were not in college. There's a myth that 1/4 or every fourth answer somewhere The answer is letter C. So there I was, armed with that, and I later said, about 20 years later, after the wonderful, wonderful Temple University, God bless them for oh man, and I said to the man who gave me the scholarship, who was he was incarcerated for letting me in. No, and I said, Gavin, how much did I score? And he just passed out. He was just sitting there after the question. He tried to answer, but I think he had to go. The score was so low, we had to have a seance.
Mr. Cosby, I know we have you for a limited amount of time. I got a couple more quick questions for you. One about football.
To the students? Are the students still sitting there?
Yeah, they're listening very intently, sir. So they are right here with us.
I mean, look at them carefully. Are they washed?
They got a big smile on their face.
Huh?
They're probably a little bit hungover because it is in college. But other than that, they look great.
No. See, that's the wrong part. See, they came there thinking that they can drink, and they don't know that snow is coming. You fools!
Exactly. With me right now, Bill Cosby. He's going to be in Grand Forks on Sunday, 7 p.m. I'll give you more information. I want to be respectful of his time. Two more quick questions. One's going to do with football. That'll be the last one. First one is this. We talk a lot about politics on the show, Mr. Cosby. How would you grade President Obama up to this point, and why?
I'm going to grade him. I'll give him a C. A C because he should have jumped on those buffoons in the Senate and in the Congress, and not taken so long to recognize that he's looking at the enemy, and it happens to be them, and make those people understand that because he is the first black or African American, that they better get down. This is about the people, and he promised the people a lot of things, and these guys are looking, and they don't care. Rule or ruin. That's the way I feel about that. The second grade I would give him is that now he's talking about the people. So I think that he's got it now, and those people better, the Congress and the Senate, they're going to have to deal with a man who now realizes that he's got to make this about the people. And I don't mean Tea Party, I mean people. I mean, when you're talking about cuts, you can't cut people. But we must also give the people a grade, because this thing's going to go on, regardless of who's in that house, another 4 or 5 years to clean up this mess. We have not been brought clearly to the window to see the picture of how badly that Bush administration left us. Now, the second question.
Interesting comments. I've got some requests here for some voices, if you'll do maybe some Fat Albert things in a moment. This was my final question. I read that you also played football at Temple. Is that true?
Division 12.
So here's my question for you.
In Division 12, there was no such thing. When I played, it was the same attitude like teeterball. You know what I mean? In other words, if you carried the ball and somebody hit you and you fumbled, they said stop. And then they went over to the guy that hit you, and they said, say you're sorry.
I probably know your answer for the NFC, but I want to hear it anyways. Who do you have going to the Super Bowl this year?
It's too early to tell, but I'm enjoying Detroit. I'm enjoying what they did. I'm enjoying what Buffalo did. I'm watching them carefully, and I think that Pittsburgh and Baltimore fooled me, because I said, yeah, okay, and then I went, whoa, So I don't like to deal with teams that have like the tuna surprise.
I thought with Temple you jump on the Eagles bandwagon, Eagles, Eagles, but no Eagles coming out of your mouth, huh?
I'm very pragmatic. I got a quarterback. I don't know when he's going to come out.
I know.
At what point during the game will he be mashed into the carpet? and then he has to come out and he has to go to. He's the one who's cut a trough into the X-ray room, and then after that, there's a guy, Vince Young, and he takes 3 steps and his hamstrings unravel. then the fellow who's going to relieve them, he's colorblind. As a matter of fact, one of the great things is a woman said to me, "I don't like him." I said, "Why?" So he keeps throwing it to people who don't work for us.
Last question for him. I'm getting a bunch of requests here. Would you be willing to do some Fat Albert voices for us or something?
No. All right, let's go. Here we go.
All right.
What do you want?
Let's hear some Fat Albert. And the one guy that always had his head over his face with the eye things. Eddie.
Hello, Katie. What is I'm little snitting. This is mother schmubbles. I'm little snitting to Chris Berg. Oh, boy. This is Fat Albert, and I'm listening to Chris Berg, who's going around serving alcohol to underage teenagers.
Oh, my gosh, Mr. Cosby, thank you so much. I just really appreciate your time. God bless you, and have a great time in Grand Forks eating those moose burgers, okay?
Shorty is gone, but they have the Shorty burgers now over the light. Bye-bye. And all of you college kids, find a goal, attack it, and think about owning your own business. Forget all this not-for-profit stuff. And the key word, all you young people, please, the key word is people and be honest.
Great advice. Mr. Cosby, I know my producer wanted to ask one quick thing of you when we put you back on hold. Thank you so much for your time.
He did already ask me for some money. I told him.
Good job, Tommy. Bill Cosby.
I'll talk to him.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate your time. Bill Cosby coming to Grand Forks October 2nd. He'll be at Chester Fritz Auditorium. If you want tickets, you can just obviously Google Chester Fritz or just call Ticketmaster 800-745-3000. Again, 800-745-3000. My absolute favorite Fat Albert guy. I called him Eddie. I can't even do it, but it was absolutely classic. Oh, Mr. Cosby, thanks again. God bless you. Coming up here.
God bless you, Chris, if you're going to eat those pizzas, those kids, with the mold over it. Always brush the mold off.
Thank you. We're going to the frat house later. All right, Mr. Cosby, take care.